Apparently Tyreek Hill went on the radio and said some things. Let's react to that. What is up, Finn fans? Today's gonna be a good video. I got the radio show with Tyreek Hill. He went on, I forgot the 980, I think it was, with his old teammates. And he talked about a lot. One of them being that he's going to retire a Miami Dolphin. So in 2 years, he said he's going to retire a Dolphin. Once he hits his 10-year mark, he's done. Kind of coincides with what I said with the Dolphins. I have a 2-year window because after these next 2 years, they get a lot of cap space and all of a sudden a lot of free agents. So that does make a ton of sense. And then he talks about some other things and, you know, Tua gets brought up and all that stuff. But before we jump into that and before we jump into the reaction, again, it's a 44-minute video. I didn't react to the whole thing, so it's going to be cut down. I'll put the link for the video in the description. Before we jump into that, I have to address something. And normally I only address something if it is brought up to me or if it is commented enough that I need to address it. And the thing I got to address is the fact that TD Finstalk invited me on his channel the other day with Barry Cunningham and wanted to have a conversation with me. And that bothered some people. And they said to me, how dare you? You sold out. Why would you stoop so low? I'm done with, like, some people are genuinely upset with me about why I went on TD's channel. First and foremost, I've been friends with TD for 5 years. When me and him first started doing this stuff 5 years ago, we've became friends, right? So just because TD has changed the way he does his channel or his opinion has changed or, you know, he's got more, you know, rugged or whatever you want to say, doesn't mean that as a person, he's not the same friend I've had for the past 5 years, right? And some people think that the fact that I associate myself with him is like a bad show of my character. I'm not changing. My channel hasn't changed. My opinion hasn't changed, any of that stuff. So that's a little silly to me. The other thing, why did I go on his channel, right? You ever watch him and Barry? And him and Barry know, and you can go on Twitter and you could see me going at them, you know, they say things that I disagree with, and I go right back at them. You could see it on Twitter. Me, TD, and Barry TD and Barry have a lot in common. Me, TD, and Barry have not a lot in common. And I go back at them a lot. That was the whole point of me going on TD's channel. You ever watch them and say, that's not true? Nope, that's not true. Oh my God, you're just making stuff up now. And wanted to say something to him. That was the whole point of me going on the channel. He was asking me questions about Tua, about the O-line, this, that, and all the other things. And I went on to answer the questions. And if they said something that I didn't think was true, or if they tried to push a false narrative or anything, I was going to push back on them because no one really does on their channels. That was the whole point of me going on their channels. And that if I go on in the future, that's the whole point. If they say something like Tua sucks and he's this, and that, I'm like, that's not true at all. Tua is a one-read quarterback. That's not true. And I'll pull up film. If they say these things, I'm there to push back. That's the point. But first and foremost, I've been friends with TD for 5 years. I understand that he's rubbing a lot of you guys the wrong way. Understandably, because again, he's you got to like him. You don't like him, then you're not going to like him, especially on Twitter when he trolls a lot of people. He gets me sometimes. Like I said, I go at him on Twitter. He gets me sometimes. But to question my character and to come after me because I went on his channel to make sure they stay the status quo and don't say anything outlandish, it's a little unfair to me, a little bit, because my opinion hasn't changed. I'm still making the same content. I'm still saying the same things. I'm still the same person. So there's that. And it's kind of sad that I had to explain that. But there you go. So in the future, if you do see me on Barry or TD's channel, expect me to push back on some false narratives because that's the whole point. They bring me on there because I'm so different than them that it's a good conversation and could be a good debate. But, yep, that's what I got for you. So now let's jump into reacting to Tyreek Hill. I'm going to pop it up. I'm going to scoot. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Just a scotch bigger. There you go. And let's go.
With the Chiefs, like, what was kind of the most memorable year in your opinion?
Definitely my rookie year. You know, I feel like that was the first time I really had a chance to make a name for myself, obviously. And I just feel like the guys I connected with, obviously you wasn't on the team yet, and just the relationships I was able to build, and then just having that moment on the football field when the fans was going crazy. The Oakland Raider game when it was like Tyreek. You talk about chills, and just that moment right there was like the moment where I feel like I kind of came onto the scene to like make a name for myself, man. Because as a kid, like you grow up, imagining doing these things, in your backyard, jumping on the trampoline, making those big plays,
right?
And here I am, my rookie year being able to do that, in front of thousands of people.
I mean, they chanted Tyreek and he took it to the house.
Yeah,
bruh.
He took that punt return to the house.
No cap, bruh. I think I cried, bruh. Like
that was kind of like what was always fun. Whenever Tyreek would go back a punt return, every single time Chiefs fans, the Tyreek chant goes, and it's like something special is about to happen.
Well, I remember his first practice with us, his rookie year, and I was standing next to EB, and he caught like a flat route, and he completely ruined every defender's angle. And EB looks at me, and I said, "That's special." He goes, "That's not speed you see ever on a football field." And
Crazy.
everyone had great angles for a normal person running, but when Tyreek took that ball and went up that sideline, angles were gone. Your best bet was just run to the end zone, and maybe you catch him somewhere down there.
When you come into the Chiefs and they draft you, obviously you play more so running back in college, and they draft you as a receiver.
Right.
How does that, like, when you come in, how's that kind of translate? Were you kind of nervous to play?
I'm gonna sound a little non-football knowledge. I did not know he played running back in college. It's no duh, Doug. I'm expecting those in the comment section. I didn't know he played running back, and they drafted him at wide receiver. But yeah, Tyreek has that ability to be just the. How many times did we see it with Kansas City? When you throw a pass to him, and he does this thing where he starts to run backwards, and you're like, Tyreek, come on, just go. Oh my God! Like, prime example was the fumble touchdown against the Chargers. It's just ridiculous.
A kind of strictly receiver. How long did that take? Because obviously the rookie year is hard in Coach Reed's offense to learn things and to be a really productive receiver.
Well, my whole life I played running back and receiver, but my primary was running back. And like you said, when I got to college, it was kind of the same role. But once I got drafted by the Chiefs, my only obligation to the team was, you feel me, do whatever I can to just help this team win games. So when I took my visit with the Chiefs, I met with the special team coordinator, Dave Tobe. Shout out to Coach Tobe. And we had a conversation. He was like, "Man, why do you think you the man for this job?" And I told him, I was like, "Look, once I take one to the house, the guys around me, they going to want to keep blocking." You know what I'm saying? Because guys want to feel that. Like, guys want to continue to feel that special feeling of being able to say, man, I was a part of that.
Having an impact on the game.
You feel me? So, like, I was like, look, I'm going to go in. I may not be the best receiver, but I'm going to go in. I'm going to work hard. Nobody can take that away from me, and I'm going to make this team as a returner. And that's what I did. You feel me? I was a Pro Bowl punt returner, All-Pro, I believe, punt returner or whatever, special return specialist.
I was going to say,
return specialist.
Shout out to my teammate, man. Shout out to my teammate.
I feel like that's like the first time that term really came about was like return specialist. Nobody really knew what that was until Tyreek made that a thing. And then it's like nowadays people think that's like disrespect.
Yeah,
like
it's
guys,
not.
it's like, bro, if
It's
you're a
not.
specialist at anything, you should take that as like the highest
if your
compliment.
name is
should.
specialist in it, that means you're really, really good at what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like I was like a good teammate specialist, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, hey,
yeah.
you need
I'll
some
give you
guys
that.
like a glue guy.
I'll give you that.
Like
Yeah,
I'll
I
come
agree.
in, I'll get the guys going, like make sure everybody's right.
Yeah.
It's different, man. That's what my time with the Chiefs was. Obviously, a lot was depending on your health, my playing time, and I always look forward to backing you up because I knew how special you were and getting in those practice situations where I'm running your plays and doing everything Tyreek does. I realized like how in shape you have to be, how hard you have to work. Otherwise, you get to the game, and that's why I never really understood how you got to this a certain level in the game where you're literally running full speed every single play, and people don't realize, like, when you're doing motions, when you're running routes,
It's hard.
you're running 10 seconds full speed every time, and you have to come back, 20-second rest, go back, play after play. You're playing 70 plays a game. Where did, like, the hard work and your, I guess, skill set kind of set in? Was that something that you just always had?
Just mindset, dog. I just feel like if people understand, you know, where I come from and just who I am as a person and the people I was raised by, man, you know, life wasn't always easy for me. You feel me? So I feel like God has blessed me with this amazing opportunity, so why let it go to waste?
Yeah, that's why I never understood. It was like, you're in this awesome opportunity.
You saw that. I forgot what game it was. He kept coming out and then going back in and then coming out and then going back in. I think it was his ankle or his like quad or his calf or something. Tyreek kept going out and coming back in. I don't remember what. Comment below if you remember what game it was. I think we ended up winning the game. But he got banged up because he's constantly on the field, constantly doing. That's why he's not doing kick or punt returns for us unless we need him because he's ridiculous.
And all you have to do is work hard, grind it out. And that's something that, like, EB, Coach Reed, those guys did an awesome job of staying on guys. It's like
they're going to get on your nerve, too.
Yeah, they're going to do that, but, like, it's in the best interest. And people don't realize that. It's like everybody wants you to be the best person, the best player. And that's something I think Coach Reed and EB really did a good job of is that high expectation of no matter who the player was, they wanted the expectation level up high.
Well, they knew how talented he could be, and if they could get it out of him, how special our team would be. And for any of those guys, it's like, yeah, I mean, people, you know, joke about how EB stays on everyone, but as a player, I know you respected that because it wasn't
Big
like
time.
it wasn't he was just staying on, or he never talked to Tyreek or Pat or Kelsey or anyone, and all he did was harp on the younger guys or the little. As a younger guy, you look up to them.
And it trickles down to the younger.
The phase one for us, I may do some pool dream, so why not? It's really good.
For sure, like we would be dying in practice.
It's the same way in Miami too, though.
Yeah, we'd be running 100 plays a game, 100 plays of practice, just out there, just grinding. One player in the league that
I feel like having Kelsey on the field at all times definitely helps. At any given situation, very grateful for both of those guys.
Yeah, being a good teammate goes far, and those guys I think did a good job, and you do an awesome job of. Like, you're not scared. Like, if a guy's better than you, okay, come take my spot. But you're not scared to help the young guys out. How important is helping those young guys out, the guys with no experience on the football field, in the receiver room, at any position on the field? To me, that was one of the biggest keys. Like, you see Pat, you see Kelsey, you see Tyreek. They're teaching guys the plays. They're teaching techniques that help them out. And then you see some guys that don't necessarily want to help out. Like, that stuff goes a long way.
You can see that with the way, when we did have the preseason set up the way it was. Like when Tyreek wasn't out there, he was almost on the field cheering on his guys and wanting them to succeed and do well. Like if you're a player,
shoot, I feel like, man, the Chiefs can win with just anything, man, for real though. Man,
it seems like
you got one of the best. You got the best quarterback in the NFL.
Like Tyreek. I mean, they're not watching film of when Tyreek ran these routes because he was the perfect example of that. So if you had to, what your honest opinion on what you think the Chiefs need to do during this time now for receivers?
Shoot, I feel like, man, the Chiefs can win with just anything, man, for real though. Man,
it seems like
you got one of the best. You got the best quarterback in the NFL. You got the best tight end in the NFL. You feel me?
You got Coach Reed,
and then you got one of the best offensive play callers in the league, man. So you feel me? That's a good tang with the wang right there, man. Like they can do whatever they want to, man, with it. You feel me?
Giving credit where credit's due, he's not wrong. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Travis Kelce is the best tight end in the NFL. Their head coach is one of the best offensive play callers in the NFL. He ain't wrong. Everyone keeps asking and wondering about their wide receiver crew. It don't matter if you got Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't. They'll be fine.
From Coach Reed to McDaniel, obviously two offensive guys.
Right,
Are they
right.
similar? Like, how are they similar, different? Like, Coach Reed's obviously been in the game forever. He's knows everybody. He's got that coaching tree that just goes throughout the NFL.
Yeah, he does.
You got a fresh young mind that's first-year head coach. What was your excitement level, I would say, going to Miami, playing for somebody that was
You know what's crazy? As soon as I got off the plane in Miami, after I had signed my deal or whatever, he shook my hand. He was like, "You ready to go for 2,000?" I was like, "Whoa."
That man was feeling good.
I was like, "Whoa, 2,000, Calvin Johnson record, 2,000? Are you talking about something else?" So yeah, I was definitely excited, man. And then I already knew that Jalen Waddle was a special talent, and I kind of watched their offense, when he was in San Fran and the way they used Debo and the way they used Ayuk or whatever, and I was like, bro, imagine, I was just imagining myself inside of that offense,
Right.
And here I am, 1,700 yards later.
Are the plays pretty similar?
Number 6 number 6 offense, number 4 passing, I think. Again, I'm going off the top of my dome. I know the rushing was bottom half, bottom quarter of the league, and I know the passing was top 10, top 5 possibly. It had a lot to do with him and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek getting him the ball and the play design and all that stuff. It was special.
Or is it is it completely
Nah,
different terminology,
it's
different too?
Completely different terminology. And believe this or not, I struggled with it for the first week. I say I struggled with it, but then
First week of the season?
the first week of
Just being there.
OTAs, I struggled with it. Because
When you're in offense for 6 years,
Yeah, when
it's
I was-
you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay attention to okay, we got the day one plays coming again.
Exactly.
We know what's going on.
Yeah.
exactly.
You go to a new place, you're like, damn, I really have to learn all this over again. And
But I was I was really
It's fun.
motivated. I was like, okay, I'm finna learn these plays, because if you think about it, everybody had to
Right.
learn the plays.
Mhm.
New coach, fresh system, everybody had to learn the plays. So I learned the plays, terminology way different, and once you learn it, it's easy. I be Tua still be calling the play, and I be already lined up.
Right.
Now. It's crazy.
that's always a good feeling.
And you notice that too. I wish I could pull a play out of my head, because if you ever watched with Gruden, my brain was not working, with Tampa, and him and Chris Sims, right? He was calling a play to Chris Sims. Chris Sims couldn't get it because it was that XY banana play. It's so long. I don't know what the Miami Dolphins plays. I don't know how that, but you got I formation, this and that, but they have certain names, and X close, Y, Z, on 3, blah, 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 blah. If you ever watch when they're in the huddle, right, you notice guys start leaving the huddle when the huddle hasn't broken. And that's a lot of times because portions of the play that they are calling is for different portions of the offense. So I wish I could give you a play, but say the first 3 or 4 words might be the receiver, which route they're running, right? So Tyreek's route might be the first 3 or 4 words. So he's in the huddle, and tools say I formation, X, Y, close, green, zebra, and then all of a sudden Tyreek's like, all right, I'm running a flat route, and then he'll run out of the huddle. And then he'll finish the play, and then they'll break. And you'll watch on, if you want to go back and watch the games, or you want to, pay attention this season, while they're in the huddle and they're calling plays, guys start leaving before the huddle breaks, because they already know, like you said, they already know what the play is. By certain verbiage will tell them what route they're going to run, what the formation is. It could be a run play. It could be RPO to the other side. So my option, okay, I'm going to be blocking, running out of the huddle.
When you're he starts calling it, and you can finish the play for him. You get out, you know what you're doing. You don't have to think at all. You can just play.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize how difficult it really is for someone new to come in and learn to play a whole system. What if you so you've done kind of both now, but you've had. Would you consider coming in during the season, if you would say you get traded during the season and coming in and learning? Would that be easier or harder? Because my mind is all you have to learn that first week is what's in the game plan, and
Yep.
it's not that whole.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how
Not
big the
every play.
playbook in Miami is, but like Coach Reed was like one of those big 3-ring binders, and it was full by the end.
Reed need that dictionary.
Yeah. So, would you think it would be easier to come in during the season, or when you did to learn the plays and execute?
Nah, I think I came in at a perfect time because if I would have came in during the middle of the season, I probably would have. I don't know. Let me not say that. I would have been like, look, whatever y'all give me, just give it to me, baby. I'm gonna learn it. You feel me?
Were you moving around positions, kind of like?
Nah, I played Z the whole time.
Okay.
The same thing I play here. So they put me at Z, and they put J-Dub at X because I thought I was gonna play X
Right.
because the X is
See what I'm saying? So, if you read off the play in the huddle, they say Z, blah, 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 X, like whatever. Again, I wish I could give you a play where the verbiage, as soon as he says Z, he knows what what he's doing. He's going to break the huddle. Same thing with X. Waddle break the huddle, and,
the guy. he got a little shimmy.
That's like the traditional, like old school receiver.
Yeah.
Like if you're the X, you're the big dog.
Exactly.
But it's kind of different now. Like those positions change so much, and
Man.
everybody's interchangeable. It seems like on offense.
Were you guys very interchangeable? Like,
yeah.
did you guys?
Yeah. So we changed. So some plays he was the X, some plays I was the X. So we changed.
So you're gonna learn not just one position and one route tree. Like
But
you've got to learn all of it.
It's all the same terminology though.
Yeah.
Like in that offense, it's all the same terminology. So he may say X, dango, Z comeback or some crazy stuff like that. Like you just gotta know what comeback is, and you just gotta know what dango is at the time.
So we'll go back and
see what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down, it's certain terminologies. Once you get the terminology, once you understand the concept of what the route is in the name of the play, and then you understand the play. I wanted to play wide receiver. I was tall. I'm tall and long. I wanted to play wide receiver. I wanted to play offense, but the play length is just ridiculous. I was happy at defensive end.
check on your kind of like that last few months of being with the Chiefs. You're going into free agency, or you weren't even a free agent. You were still on a contract.
I was still
looking
with the
for
Chiefs.
You were still under contract, looking for a new contract.
Yeah.
What was the decision like? I remember I was kind of involved because I felt like I was like the middleman. Like some guys didn't have your numbers. They were hitting me up. I was talking to you. I felt like I was on the inside.
Yeah.
That whole situation, and obviously leaving Kansas City to go to a new place where you've had so much success in Kansas City. You have a quarterback. You have a head coach. You have everything that you've kind of brought up on. You've only been on one team.
They're wearing these headphones. These Sony headphones, if you notice, right? When they cut to the side, you'll see like the red or the blue. These Sony headphones. These are really good headphones. They also have the bags. I don't know where my bag is. You can see on the table they have the bags for these are really good headphones. I think they're like $100 and something bucks. Good headphones. I use them for when I'm editing so I can hear the audio.
Was that decision hard? Kind of walk through that whole decision-making process.
Well, the whole idea came about, towards the end of the season, right after the Bengals game. My agent reached out to me. He was like, "Reek, are you ready for a new contract?" And I was like, "Man, you know what? Let's see what happened during the offseason, and we'll take it from there." So a few guys signed. Christian Kirk had got his deal. I forgot what his deal was, but
it was something crazy.
Yeah, Christian Kirk had a crazy deal, so I hit up my agent. I'm like, okay, we done seen like what's going on.
Because
so
he got his new contract. He was making more money than you were making at the time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it
only makes sense.
He signed a deal and like he surpassed me, and I'm like, bro, I love to compete. Like I compete off the field, and I'm gonna also compete on the business side of this too.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna let Christian Kirk have a higher contract than me, bro. I'm not. I'm just not, D.
You only play for so long. Like that's what I never understood why
man.
people will get mad if you're taking a contract somewhere else. And like, yeah, the Chiefs were gonna give you a decent amount, but like when the Dolphins are giving you $40 million more than what the Chiefs are giving you, how do you, as any person, no matter how loyal you are to an organization, that's a lot of money.
Now we're talking business.
That's setting your family up. That's setting everything.
It's like a combination of things, right? This is the way I see it. He saw Christian Kirk getting stupid money with the Jags, right? And he's nowhere near the productivity. He's nowhere near the type of athlete that Tyreek Hill is. Not knocking Christian Kirk. It's just, it's obvious. And you can tell that the Miami Dolphins wanted and needed Tyreek Hill on this team. And the Miami Dolphins made it very evident by the amount they gave to the Chiefs, regardless if it was a first, a second, and a bunch of late round picks, regardless of that, and how much they were going to pay Tyreek. As a player, they probably are like, this team wants me and needs me. Not saying that the Chiefs didn't want or need him, but they really didn't. Because, look, they won the Super Bowl without him. So it's not like they needed Tyreek. They had the quarterback. They had the MVP Super Bowl. And they already had that quarterback who established himself as Patrick Mahomes.
Chiefs Twitter is very passionate. And I say that because every time the whole offseason, all you saw with trending was Tyreek, Pat, Tua. And it's like, all your comments about Tua, it's like, what are you supposed to say? Like, you call him the most accurate, and the dude is accurate. Like, what's the big deal? I never understood it. Like, you always gave Pat his credit. Like, Pat's the best in the league, but
he's clearly the best.
Tua can put, like, I've caught from Tua before, and it's like every ball is right where you want it. It's a nice, easy spiral. It's like, what's the big deal? And Chiefs fans will kind of blow that out of proportion.
You want to know? Hey.
Yeah, I find it funny that so many people got so bent out of shape about him saying that, and now he got this other guy coming out and saying the same exact things. Tua is accurate. That's not the downside to his game. His accuracy is actually the best part of his game. I don't understand why that's such a thing.
If just throw it out there, what do you think Miami needs in the draft?
Do they have any draft picks? I know they traded them all for you.
Yeah, we got some draft picks. So we got a second round pick. That's all I know.
What do you think you need?
Well, obviously we got rid of our tight end.
That's true.
Went to the Patriots. And there are some good tight ends in this draft.
So you think
you got the kid from Georgia, you got the kid from Utah, you got the kid from Iowa who's good.
Buddy from Georgia is kind of nice.
Notre Dame's pretty good too, right? There's a kid from Notre Dame.
Well, I don't.
Meyer or something like that.
I don't think the dude from Georgia, he was the backup tight end.
Yeah, but their starting tight end is like probably a top 5 pick when he wants to come out. So
sure. Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock Bowers.
Nice.
The other dude was really nice too. The Washington. I think his last name was
He's
Washington.
like 6'8".
He's huge.
So you're going with Miami with Miami with a tight end.
Tight end or a linebacker.
Linebacker. What do you
because
think?
we don't got no inside linebacker. He went to the Steelers.
Sherman be coming out of retirement?
For linebacker, we need a linebacker.
I mean, I'd love to play linebacker.
David Long Jr., Jerome Baker, Channing Tindall, Tyreek. He thinks Atlanta Roberts was starting. Well, he was a starting tight end, don't get me wrong, but that's interesting. Interesting quote right there from Tyreek.
I believe it. So you're going to, this is what, year 8 for you?
Year 8, baby.
Year 8. How many more years do you think you can play? Or do you want to play?
I'm going for 10, man. I'm gonna finish out this contract with the Dolphins, man, and then I'm gonna call it quits. You know, I wanna go into the business side. You know,
wow.
You want to be in the coaching too, right?
Yeah, but not for long though. Like I wanna do so many things in my life, bro.
You want to come back and help us coach me and Gary high school football?
Can I bring my boys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will bring the little cheetahs, the little soul runners.
So hey, listen. So now we got. I mean, we're making a good,
buddy.
strong push for a really, really well coached team.
We got to travel the world though, bro.
Soul Runner, can Soul Runner sponsor us?
Yeah. Thing to say though before I go.
Go ahead.
Chiefs Kingdom, when the Miami Dolphins come to Arrowhead Stadium this year, guess what we gonna do? Guess what we gonna do? I hate to say it, man. I hate to throw up the peace sign against y'all. I hate to do it. But guess what? I'm gonna be y'all worst enemy that day. I'm gonna be y'all worst enemy that day.
We'll edit that out. We'll just
you better
get rid of that.
You better change.
We won't even let
you
anyone
better
hear that.
change the signals. I know every signal y'all got.
What if Sherm comes in like arrests you on the sideline? Like what would you do? That's one way to take him out the game. Like that might be the only way.
Listen, they work for hire. Work for hire. Just let me know.
I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
No, this is. I remember my buddy.
I mean, he does know the play calls and he does know the signals, and wonder how much they're going to change it up from what Tyreek Hill does now. But it was a good interview. Go check out the whole thing. Like I said, I'm going to link it in the description. It was about a 44-minute video. I'm not going to react to the whole 44 minutes. But go check out the full interview. They talk about a lot of good stuff. College, Tyreek coming in, playing different positions, a lot of cool stuff. Go check out the full video. Great interview. Great insight. Fun. I liked it. It was good. If you got any other videos you want me to react to, send them my way. It's draft month. Me and Bro Schmo are going to get together, and that video will be out tomorrow. We're going to talk offensive line. It's going to be very, very interesting. See if the Dolphins have any options at 51 and 80 something. Second and third round. But on that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Have fins up.